Bryony Berridge explains the PIP method.
So, Bryony, could you please provide more details about this PIP, this PIP evaluation structure? Bryony?
Sure, I can do that. So PIP means positives and then improvement and then positives. So basically, it's all about the stuff the speaker did well, then cover some improvements they might think about for the future, and then rounding out with other positives, things they did really well. Now, obviously, as I said before, there's limited time. So I would personally cover 2 good things the speaker did well with examples, maybe 3, but normally I'd probably stick to 2. Then I'd probably cover a couple of things they might look to improve upon in the future. Again, it could be extended to 3, but I prefer to keep it a little less because you can give a bit more explanation as to why, and then come back to something that they did really well after that. So again, ending on a high point. And you might choose to give the thing that you like most about the speech at that point. So to give you a couple of examples, as I say, it's really important to explain not just what they did well or need to improve upon, but kind of why you formed those opinions and how they might actually, progress with their speech making. For example, one of the positives might be, I could really imagine this pyramid. You gave me an idea of just how many blocks there were, and it was just absolutely incredible. I just really imagine myself to be right there in Egypt. So that could be an example of one of the things the speaker did well. Or another example, of an improvement they might, something they might be looking to improve at in the future. I went to a presentation once by somebody very, very capable, very competent, but it was on a big stage and the curtain was black. Now he was wearing a black t-shirt and black trousers, and he was full of energy. But all I could see was what seemed to be a disembodied head and arms going round and round, moving backwards and forwards across this stage.
That must be an entertaining watch, Bryony.
It was. So I would say for him, if you possibly can, look at your venue beforehand and get some familiarity around that, because obviously we were struggling to see him, and so some of his message, it was just lost, and we were getting distracted by these floating head and arms. So as I say, it's just really helpful to people to give us some examples that, came out of their speech as to both the things they did well and the things they might consider doing differently for the future.
Yes, thank you, Bryony. I think what I'm getting from that is, although we do have to provide a feedback to our speakers in Toastmaster space, it's really important that we end it in a high note. We lift our speakers. You don't end it, oh, you did not do well, or I would like you to, the next thing you do to say, and then finish it off. But it's really important that you finish it off with, you did all these beautiful things and well done for doing a great speech, something like that.
I think you're right there. I was just going to add, if I may, when I used to get evaluations, and this was the same in my job, I think we all have a tendency to focus in on the negative. We forget all the positive stuff. But through Toastmasters, what I've learned is, one, I actually, want to improve as a speaker. So I'm really keen to hear those things that I could be improving upon and suggestions for that. But second of all, the positive things are so important as well, because that just helps put everything in perspective. So I think it's actually covering both, and those positives are so important.
Yes. No, I definitely agree with you. It's really important to lift the speakers that you're evaluating. And plus, most people would remember the last thing you said. So it's really important to end in a high note. So thank you, Bryony.
Thanks, Bryony, for explaining the PIP method.